Tamar Braxton just pulled a move that's got everybody talking, but not in the way she hoped. Her so-called near-death emergency. Fans are now calling it nothing but a staged publicity stunt. And just when the drama couldn't get any crazier, Mendeecees' name got dragged straight into the mess, exposing him in a scandal no one saw coming. This isn't just Dramide's deception at the highest level, and the receipts are finally out. Tamar Braxton has always been known as one of the most dramatic and unpredictable stars in reality television. From her time on Braxton Family Values to her countless public meltdowns and explosive social media rants, Tamar has built her brand on controversy. But this time, things took a dark turn. Recently, she claimed she had a near-death experience that left fans shaken, worried, and sending prayers her way. For days, Tamar pushed the story hard, making it sound like she had been clinging to life, fighting for survival and narrowly escaping tragedy. Her posts were filled with cryptic captions, emotional emojis, and attention-grabbing statements that made it sound like she was facing her last days. At first, fans rallied behind her. People were genuinely concerned, sending love, flowers, and even starting hashtags to show their support. Celebrities reposted her story, and Tamar seemed to be basking in the sympathy. But then came the twist. Receipts started surfacing that exposed the entire thing as nothing but a stunt. People close to her began leaking details that her so-called emergency wasn't life-threatening at all. In fact, insiders claimed Tamar exaggerated the entire ordeal, knowing it would put her back in headlines and keep her name buzzing on blogs and social media. This wasn't the first time Tamar had played with drama for attention. But what shocked fans the most was just how far she went. According to whispers online, Tamar hired a team to stage photos and videos that made her appear weak and vulnerable, almost like she was in critical condition. Hospital bracelets, dramatic captions, carefully chosen lighting. It all painted a picture of someone barely holding on. But when fans started digging, they noticed inconsistencies. The hospital bed looked more like a setup at home, and the bracelet didn't match the kind you typically get from a real Ah. The timelines didn't add up either. One moment, she was supposedly near death, and the next she was on Instagram Live, laughing and shouting at trolls like nothing ever happened. That's when the backlash began. Fans who once felt sorry for her now turned on her, calling her out for playing with something as serious as life and death. People accused Tamar of clout chasing, saying she exploited her fans' emotions just to stay relevant. Some even labeled it disgusting and evil, reminding her that there are people actually fighting for their lives every day. One viral comment read, "How low do you have to go to fake your own near-death experience just for attention?" Tamar needs help, not fame. But the drama didn't stop there, because in true reality TV fashion, the scandal dragged other names into the mess, most shockingly, Mendeecees. Mendeecees. The love and hip-hop star known for his complicated marriage to Yandy Smith and his constant run-ins with cheating rumors. Somehow, Tamar's fake stunt crossed paths with Mendeecees. And when the dots started connecting, fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. According to leaked reports, Tamar and Mendeecees had been secretly communicating behind the scenes for weeks. Screenshots allegedly showed them exchanging late-night texts. And some even claimed Mendeecees was advising Tamar on how to milk her so-called health crisis for maximum attention. If that's true, it would mean he played a role in helping her craft this publicity scheme. But that wasn't the only bombshellers began speculating that Tamar and Mendeecees were more than just friends. The whispers got louder when someone leaked a blurry photo that appeared to show Mendeecees and Tamar together at a lounge just days before her fake stunt blew up online. They weren't just hanging out casually, they looked close, too close. The body language screamed familiarity, and suddenly, social media exploded with theories that Tamar and Mendeecees might be entangled in some kind of secret relationship. Now, this is a major problem. Mendeecees has always tried to present himself as a family man, despite his rocky past and his jail time. Married to Yandi, who has built her brand on being a strong, loyal wife who held her man down while he was locked up. For years, Yandi has fought to keep her family intact, even when the cheating rumors never stopped haunting their marriage. But if Tamar was now tied into this scandal, both helping to fake a near-death stunt and possibly sneaking around with Stee. And we all know I've been exploring around with Stee. Yandi has fought to keep her family. When we have Mendeecees, Yandi has fought to keep her family intact. I love my work to Kate. Everyone we see when we have state warmed at words, but I love to Mondi/Cades. But if Kanar was now convicted get calm with Cmar with Stainwise, Sid's key with CDFAT up qui with C to YCFKE AK con we can see to kind of my elected catasuidoidic Mendeecees it spelled disaster for his already fragile reputation. Fans immediately began tagging Yandi, demanding answers. Some even went as far as saying Tamar betrayed girl code, dragging Yandi into unnecessary humiliation by messing with her husband. Tamar, of course, stayed quiet at first, letting the speculation build. But her silence only fueled the fire. Every blog, every gossip page, every YouTube channel was covering it. And Tamar's name was plastered everywhere, not for talent, not for music, but for being caught in yet another messy scandal. Meanwhile, Mendeecees tried to downplay the situation, but insiders said Yandi was furious. She allegedly confronted him about the rumors, demanding to know the truth about his connection to Tamar. Some claim she even threatened to leave him for good if the allegations turned out to be real. But instead of putting out the fire, Mendeecees' vague responses only made things worse. He denied being involved with Tamar romantically, but he didn't deny being in contact with her about her health scare. That little detail made fans wonder why was a married man so invested in another woman's fake drama. The internet quickly branded Tamar and Mendeecees as the messy duo, accusing them of teaming up to manipulate the public. It didn't help that Tamar has a history of dramatic stunts and Mendeecees has a history of cheating scandals. Together, it looked like a recipe for disaster. One fan tweeted, "Tamar and Mendeecees, of course. Two clout chasers teaming up for the messiest storyline possible. Yandi, better watch out." By this point, Tamar's reputation was spiraling out of control. What started as a sympathy grab turned into one of the biggest scandals of her career, dragging other stars down with her. Her near-death stunt wasn't just exposed as fake, it became a gateway into uncovering messy secrets, shady alliances, and questionable motives. And if Tamar thought she could control the narrative, she was wrong, because more people started coming forward with receipts, and the story was only getting messier by the minute. The fallout from Tamar Braxton's fake near-death stunt was immediate, brutal, and relentless. What she may have thought would earn her sympathy, headlines, and a little clout had quickly transformed into a nightmare she couldn't escape. Blogs began running side-by-side comparisons of her so-called hospital setup, with fans dissecting every frame, pointing out props, lighting angles, and details that proved the entire scene was staged. The receipts were impossible to ignore. One TikTok creator zoomed in on Tamar's hospital wristband and exposed that it didn't have a patient number or hospital code. Another fan recognized the blanket she was using as one sold at a popular online home goods store. Not medical-grade bedding. Even worse, Tamar accidentally slipped during one of her emotional Instagram posts. She referred to her doctor as "my stylist," quickly correcting herself mid-sentence. But by then, fans had already caught it. The clip went viral, with people clowning her for forgetting her own script. The internet was having a field day. Tamar became a trending topic, but not in the way she wanted. Memes flooded Twitter and Instagram, mocking her for auditioning for Grey's Anatomy in her living room and calling her the new C. Smollett of reality TV. Even celebrities began throwing shade. K. Michelle, who has been Tamar's longtime rival, reposted one of the memes with a laughing emoji in the caption. Some things just never change. That one shady post was enough to reignite their beef, with Tamar clapping back in a no-deleted rant where she claimed people were jealous of her. But the damage was done. People weren't laughing with Tamar. They were laughing at her, and while all of this was blowing up, the rumors linking Tamar to Mendeecees were only gaining traction. Screenshots of their alleged text conversations started circulating, with Tamar's name attached to flirty emojis and late-night messages that had nothing to do with a health scare. In one leaked exchange, Mendeecees allegedly told Tamar, "Don't worry, I got you. This is gone, have everybody talking. Just play your role." Tamar supposedly replied with a heart emoji and, "You always know what to do." Now, whether or not these texts were real was up for debate. But in the world of reality TV and messy celebrity gossip, perception is reality. And the perception was clear: Tamar and Mendeecees were in way too deep together. Yandi, of course, wasn't about to sit quietly while her husband's name was being dragged into another scandal. Insiders claim she was furious, calling Tamar directly to demand answers. Sources say Tamar tried to brush it off, telling Yandi and that she and Mendeecees were just friends. But Yandi wasn't buying it. She reportedly told Tamar to stay away from her husband and threatened to air everything out. If she didn't, the tension between the two women spilled over into social media. Yandi posted a cryptic story saying, "One thing I'll never do is let a clown play in my face." Fans instantly assumed it was aimed at Tamar, and the comments section lit up with speculation. Tamar, never one to back down from a fight, posted her own subliminal writing. "If you worried about your man, maybe worry about what he is doing instead of me. I don't want what you got, sis." That post set the internet on fire. People were stunned by how bold Tamar was being, especially since the rumors were painting her as the other woman. Yandi, who has spent years building her brand as a loyal wife and businesswoman, was not about to let Tamar drag her through the mud. Soon after, Yandi went live on Instagram, addressing the situation without naming names. She said, "When you stand on truth, you don't gotta explain yourself. But when people start lying and playing with God's name for clout, that's when you lose all respect. Some people need to get help instead of seeking attention." Fans praised Yandi for staying composed, but they also noticed that her tone was sharper than usual. Was clear she was fuming, and her supporters encouraged her to leave Mendeecees once and for all. But here's the catch: Yandi has been through this before. She stood by Mendeecees during his prison sentence, through countless rumors and through public scrutiny. So people wondered, would this scandal finally be the last straw, or would she hold on yet again? Meanwhile, Mendeecees was caught in the middle, scrambling to do damage control. He denied having any romantic involvement with Tamar, insisting their conversations were strictly about business. But when pressed to explain what business he was conducting with Tamar while she was allegedly fighting for her life, his answers didn't add up. His vague excuses only fueled the speculation that there was more going on behind the scenes than he wanted to admit. What really sent fans over the edge was when another video surfaced. A grainy clip showed Tamar and Mendeecees leaving a hotel lobby together late at night. While nothing inappropriate was caught on camera, the timing was damning. The clip was allegedly taken just a few days before Tamar's fake near-death stunt went public. People connected the dots: was Mendeecees helping her plan the entire thing? Theories exploded across social media. Some fans believed Tamar and Mendeecees were plotting to create a crossover scandal that would benefit them both. Tamar would get the sympathy, and Mendeecees would get more screen time and relevance outside of Yandi's shadow. Others believed their connection was deeper, maybe even romantic, with the near-death stunt just being a cover for their secret rendezvous. Whatever the truth was, the public wasn't buying Tamar's innocence anymore. She was painted as the villain in this story, accused of faking a life-threatening emergency and dragging another woman's husband into the mess. Blogs described her as reckless and desperate, with one headline bluntly stating, "Tamar will do anything for attention even if it hurts other women." But if Tamar thought the storm would blow over quickly, she was wrong. The scandal was just heating up. Producers behind the scenes of Love and Hip Hop reportedly began circling, seeing an opportunity to capitalize on the drama. Imagine it, Tamar? Yandhi and Mendeecees all on screen, with the receipts and tension laid out for the world to see. Tamar had been quiet on the reality TV front for a while, but this controversy was the perfect setup for a comeback. And producers knew fans would tune in to watch the fireworks explode between her and Yandhi. The question was, would Yandhi agree to film with Tamar? Some insiders said no, claiming Yandhi was too disgusted by Tamar's behavior. Others whispered that money talks, and if the check was big enough, Yandhi would show up to put Tamar in her place on camera. Meanwhile, Tamar seemed unfazed by the backlash. In one of her most defiant posts, she wrote, "They've gone talk regardless. Might as well give them something to talk about." That single line told fans everything they needed to know. Tamar wasn't backing down. She was leaning into the scandal, and that decision would have consequences. Because while Tamar was playing up the drama, people close to her were starting to get tired. Sources claimed her own family was embarrassed, with some distancing themselves from her antics. Even Tamar Braxton, who usually avoids Tamar's mess, was said to be frustrated by her little sister's behavior. By now, the scandal wasn't just about a fake stunt or a shady connection to Mendeecees. It was becoming a story about Tamar's self-destruction. And unless she made a major change, she was on track to lose everything she had left. If parts 1 and 2 of this drama had fans glued to their screens, part 3 took the scandal to nuclear levels. By now, Tamar Braxton's reputation was in freefall. What began as a near-death stunt designed to win her sympathy had instead turned her into one of the most ridiculed figures in the industry. But if Tamar thought the storm would pass, she was about to find out the storm was just starting. And this time, it wasn't just the fans coming for her. It was the people closest to her. After weeks of speculation, Yandhi finally broke her silence in a very direct way. Tired of Tamar's subliminals and the endless chatter about her marriage, Yandhi decided to confront the issue head-on during an Instagram live session. She didn't hold back. Without even mentioning Tamar's name, she said, "What I won't do is sit back and let someone play with death, play with God, and then try to play with my family. Some people will sell their soul for attention, but I value mine too much to let anyone use me as part of their circus." Fans immediately flooded the comments, screaming Tamar's name and begging Yandhi to expose everything. While Yandhi kept it classy and didn't spill every detail, her tone was sharp enough to let everyone know she was done being silent. But Tamar, instead of backing down, doubled down. She went live herself just hours later, delivering an emotional performance filled with tears, shaky breathing, and long dramatic pauses. She insisted she really had a health scare and that people were twisting the truth. But once again, inconsistencies popped up. She claimed doctors warned her about stress-induced heart failure. But then someone leaked her actual medical documents showing she had only visited the ER for dehydration. That leak destroyed any remaining credibility she had left. By now the scandal had gone mainstream. Major outlets began covering it. And Tamar's name was no longer trending in a sympathetic way, it was trending as an example of celebrity desperation gone wrong. Her endorsements started to slip away quietly, with one health brand cutting ties completely, saying they couldn't align with someone who trivialized medical emergencies. And while Tamar was losing credibility, Mendeecees was losing his grip at home. The blurry hotel video of him and Tamar sparked serious cracks in his marriage with Yandhi. Insiders claimed Yandhi confronted him again. And this time, it wasn't about rumors, it was about receipts. According to one source, Yandhi demanded he admit what was really going on with Tamar. Mendeecees allegedly swore there was nothing romantic. But his excuses weren't adding up. Yandhi, tired of the lies, reportedly packed up and stayed away for a few days, fueling rumors that the couple was headed for separation. But just when fans thought it couldn't get any messier, more leaks came out. Screenshots of direct messages allegedly showed Tamar bragging to a friend that she had Mendeecees wrapped around her finger. The messages suggested Tamar was confident Yandhi wouldn't leave him, and that the drama would keep all eyes on her, while Tamar never confirmed or denied the messages. The damage was done her image as a manipulator grew stronger by the day. The scandal also began to divide fans. Team Tamar argued that she was just misunderstood, claiming the media was exaggerating the situation to make her look bad. Team Yandhi, however, dragged Tamar relentlessly, calling her shameless for trying to break up a family and faking an emergency for clout. The hashtag #ProtectYandhi started trending on Twitter, with thousands of fans encouraging Yandhi to stand her ground and not let Tamar humiliate her any further. The tension came to a head during a surprise run-in at a high-profile Atlanta event. Tamar and Yandhi were both invited to a charity gala, and sources say producers from Love and Hip Hop encouraged them to show up, hoping the cameras could catch fireworks. And boy did they. Witnesses claimed Tamar walked into the room with her head high, dressed in a dramatic gown, and immediately made her way to the front where all eyes could see her. Yandhi, seated with friends, reportedly gave her the coldest glare imaginable. According to insiders, Yandhi confronted Tamar privately later in the night, asking her why she dragged Mendeecees into her stunt. Tamar allegedly responded with her usual theatrics, saying, "If your man wasn't so available, maybe I wouldn't even have had the chance to talk to him." That line alone was enough to set Yandhi off. Sources say the confrontation escalated quickly, with raised voices and heated words that had security stepping in. While no punches were thrown, the tension was so thick that multiple blogs immediately began reporting on it, framing it as Yandhi versus Tamar, the showdown. The clip of Tamar yelling, "Don't blame me for your man's weaknesses," leaked online within hours, spreading like wildfire. By now, Tamar wasn't just facing fan backlash. She was facing industry backlash. Producers who once saw her as a TV goldmine started to worry about her unpredictability. Nobody wanted to be the next target of her fake stunts or messy scandals. Even her family reportedly urged her to seek therapy, warning her that she was spiraling out of control. Meanwhile, Yandhi began to win sympathy from fans and peers alike. Her composure, even in the middle of chaos, made her look strong and mature compared to Tamar's messy antics. Big-name celebrities reached out publicly, offering her support. One R&B legend even commented on her post, saying, "Keep shining, sis. You're the definition of grace under fire." As for Mendeecees, his reputation took another hit. Fans dragged him for being too comfortable in situations that disrespected his wife. Even if nothing romantic happened, the optics alone were damaging. One fan summed it up perfectly: "If you're married, you don't let another woman use you for clout, period." The scandal left everyone involved at a crossroads. Tamar's brand was in shambles, and unless she made serious changes, her career could collapse entirely. Mendeecees was being seen as weak and untrustworthy, with fans begging Yandhi to finally walk away for good. And Yandhi herself, she was being praised as the only one who handled the situation with dignity. In the end, Tamar's attempt to fake a near-death stunt for attention backfired spectacularly. Instead of sympathy, she got humiliated. Instead of headlines praising her strength, she got headlines exposing her lies. And instead of building allies, she created new enemies, with Yandhi now added to her long list of people who want nothing to do with her. The lesson: clout chasing might get you attention, but not all attention is good. Tamar learned that the hard way. And as the dust settled, fans were left wondering, was this the end of Tamar Braxton's career as we know it? Or would she find a way to spin the chaos into her next reality TV storyline? And there you have it, Tamar Braxton's so-called near-death stunt completely flipped on her, exposing secrets, dragging Mendeecees into the mess, and leaving Yandhi in the middle of pure chaos. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Tamar went too far faking something this serious? Or is she just another star caught up in the spotlight? And what about Mendeecees? Was he simply being used? Or is there more to his connection with Tamar than he's admitting? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story is far from over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next bombshell we've got coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.